Then it's time for some FACEIT League. It is Thursday night, which of course means we're getting some Master Division here tonight. We got SNV Esports taking on DhillDucks here for your NA Master Thursday. Playoffs are, literally around the corner for Master Division. I was just reminded during EMEA today, like, playoffs for Master Division start Monday. It felt like it kind of snuck up on us here, right? It kind of felt like, with playoffs just, popping up on Monday. Yeah, it absolutely felt like it kind of snuck up on me at least. But hey, you know what it means? All these matches here, and teams are playing a lot of matches back to back. A lot of teams are like kind of scrambling to get a lot of makeup games done. And so, we're getting a lot of matches in, just one on top of the other. Like, a lot of teams are playing 5 days in a row kind of thing. DhillDucks obvious favorites in this match. SNV are fighting to see if they could make miracles happen to not get relegated. Bottom 3 teams will find themselves back in Expert. Without any relegation matches or any kind of competition, there's no safety net. I don't know. I feel like there should be relegation matches. I think that line between T3 and Tier 2 is a little bit more important and deserves a few extra matches to try to help define that. I'm not convinced that, let's say, your 13th finishing team in Master Division is automatically less qualified to be in Master than the 4th place ranking team in Expert. And of course, this is just my perspective. I'm not trying to throw shade at the system or anything of that nature. But I do think we might consider having those relegation matches back for Expert to Master. Maybe your top 4 Expert teams would argue with me on that one. Would say, hey, wait a minute. You want to stay in 12th seed. Always rooting for the underdog, hard not to, but I love my Ducks. I love the DhillDucks. They're a great squad, fun squad, always good to get on. That's kind of been the team of many names throughout their history, but the roster has always looked very familiar. Has always been a top contender. Whether it was an Expert division where I was first introduced to this roster, or more recently with Blast Off Buzz and now coming in with DhillDucks this season. It feels like a team that's just got a lot of momentum at their back. They've got a lot of history competing together. So you build a lot of trust and synergy that way. And man, when we were talking to Coach Cass this morning, kind of about the Incendia situation, and just really how in the thick of it they are, and how much trust plays so much of an important part in keeping confidence and then turning that into comms in game. I think trust is a big part of that, and when you playing together for as long as this DhillDucks roster has, that feels like something that just has to be built in. You don't keep playing together for as long as they have without that level of trust in each other, on the battlefield and off. The SNV squad, they're the other Supernova. Very recognizable names. Well, NatoCat, Leo, also recognizable from around the scene. JBJ, I'm not as familiar with. This is our second time getting SNV on. First time was very early in the season. And it took them, a little bit to put a couple dubs on the board, but they are able to do so against experienced, again, teams that have some synergy and have been playing together for a while against, rotation and alternate, and some of the teams that just were kind of part of the graduating class here in Season 4 into Master Division. Is with SNV able to beat the teams that were kind of the best of Expert and, have kind of recently moved up into Master Division. There's definitely something to be said for, do they belong here? How competitive do you look, across the season? Are you able to take maps against some of these teams? Well, I'm curious to see how they compose themselves here at the very end of the season. But have definitely gotten beat up on a little bit. I feel like a lot of the games I've seen from SNV have been pretty one-sided. You make your first foray into the toughest division, first season in the league. They're going voting here for map 1. Should we get a Lijiang Tower pick? I do like that we can see who's pick sides and first ban and all that. Nice little upgrades they've added this week. First ban is far ban. First map is randomly picked, but the far ban is going to be an SNV pick. Ducks have had a spectacular season. Are coming in 9-2. 10-2, excuse me. Losses are what? EDM and Extinction. Okay. Still have Supernova in the future. That match is tomorrow night. And yeah, unfortunately, I will be casting Collegiate, so I will not be able to cover that match. Can we see them make the run? Can we see them kind of make the upset? I mean, Supernova and Extinction have to be the two favorites here in the division, right? I mean, that's the two teams that we would expect to see. The save bet money for who you expect to see in the grand finals and get to play in those relegation matches on April 13th is going to be Supernova and Extinction. But DhillDucks, I mean, they've got a bit of that upset quack potential, right? And it's part of what makes this team fun. Was a Juno band coming through from the Ducks? Oh, hey! We got everybody in. Let's get into map 1. Yay! Everybody's here. Oh, hey. I'm going to have to swap sides for you. Why don't you enjoy some Persona Pop? Or do I get those sides swapped? I got the bands right up top, but I didn't swap sides. As in the bands are on the correct sides already. PDK is also in alongside Razor here. I mean, Victory is also on this roster. So it was initially listed as starting, but I mean, you can't put any weight. I mean, that's just the FACEIT site, right? But it does get kind of interesting with the smaller rosters that teams have now, kind of where you choose to use those subs. That's a very aggressive push from Baz. Baz saw something, got very focused, and ends up overextending in around the corner. Ooh, hunt out onto a 1. Red X is finished off by Personas. Those Persona in the back line you had to be worried about all along. Here comes the flip in from SNV. After a early 40% gain out of the DhillDucks. Frothy Philly does find an opening pick here, and I think the Ducks are going to come roaring right back into the thing. Or should I say quacking right back into this thing. Ooh, you saw that shot come across from PDK. Oh, beautiful stick. Lands onto Mahuki there in the back line. And a mere 14% grab by SNV before the Ducks snake it away from them. That was an Nano Boost thrown on the Leo, but Mahuki just gets battered down. Early in the map, so no Shriek point. No, none of that self-nano damage mitigation. Oh, and 3 quick punches out of Baz. That put a stop to that attack. Now we got the sound barrier vested in. Persona with the overclock out of the spawn door. Dueling it out with PDK's OC up top. And that is a GN there for Persona. Baz trying to hold the door with an Annihilation. 99%. Somebody makes it onto the port. That Annihilation comes out. 2 players here, but he quickly gets cut down. As Redix chops the knees off under this anchor on the cart. Leo hoping the self-destruct will get him back into that mech, but no dice. One last touch out of the Lucio. Persona walking into a 1v4. Oop, there is a Nick on the outside. Okay. So SNV able to perhaps... Oh, Persona couldn't get in to tag in, and that is going to be the cap. Some DhillDucks. They're Willen and Dylan. Leo sticking with the Diva coming into the second point. Both! Oh, God. Both Lucios found pay dirt right out of the gate. I guess Redix went in too heavy looking for one, and Juzu ends up punishing it, but loses the honor in the process. Razor's able to move in and pick up 2. And a very chaotic first fight. Remind me to watch the Lucios next time. So the Ana a bit more vulnerable in this situation, trying to get across. Razor lurking in the back line. He's able to dodge the nade. Mookie's got to have eyes in all directions, trying to keep Leo topped up and trying to keep Razor at bay. Juicy moves in to help with the ladder. I think it's going to be a push across. Yeah, making it into the tea house. Got an immortality field and Nemesis form out. A couple of precious cooldowns used here. Out of the ducks. Oh, but right after the cooldown is used, right after the drift thrusters are used, the boom comes in, and Redix finds another important environmental kill. Still Persona trying to bring this back. You can see the cap starting to come through. A broken fight goes in DhillDucks' favor as they get a 2v1 in both sets. Oh, nice boop the other direction. Yeah, Juzu goes in. Excuse me, Redix goes in way too deep. Ends up going down. Once again, Redix trades themselves for Mohiki in the back line. Dominant performance here by the Ducks. Neither tie is Bushel score first. At least it was previously. So that's why they use Bushel score first. And then I think it goes to map differential and then head-to-head. Maybe it's head-to-head, then map differential, actually. I remember thinking it felt a little backwards. But I know Bushel score, at least in Season 3, was the #1 tiebreaker. DhillDucks have gotten low in this fight. Persona is able to get up with a couple of kills. Neck cleans up, so... I mean, great clapback here out of SNV. In the Twilight moment, they're kind of able to sneak in and punish a very slow cleanup there out of DhillDucks. Oh, a couple of ultimates to work with. They're both going to beautiful sleep. Ricky will deliver the opening pick on a silver platter. Oh. The PDK responds with a kill on the Tracer. So neither of them in the fight. Persona gets the nano boost. Another good sleep will put Vaz down. Hiki has come back with a couple of impressive sleep darts here back to back to help keep SNV in control at this point. Now they're up at above 50%. Nick marking the far flank, but Razor looks like they're gonna maybe jump the gap here. Oh, Leo's just gonna go for the bomb. Rex jumps around the corner, but hey, you get the immortality filled out. They don't see that very often. Persona moving in, trying to finish off the kill on the Red X. Leo actually gets it. Razor trying to move in the poles, can't find it, but is gonna look to intercept. As Persona and Miyagi coming through from the other side. Persona leaping in way out in the open to try to find that kill and just gets hunted down. Razor finds a nice little two-piece to get DhillDucks in control of this point. The yellow bar threatening everybody up top. Well, threatening to end the map here for SNV. Sound barrier out of the Ducks. Oh! Red X almost got a taste of their own medicine. Is getting chased along the outside. Somebody's got to get back to this objective. Nobody can. Ducks take map 1. Oh, you don't want to give me a scoreboard? Give me a scoreboard. Okay. SNV choose Suravasa and ban the Wrecking Ball. Look at some stats there from map 1. What dominant performance. Baz leading damage in the server. I mean, Persona, though. I mean, Persona comes in with 18A, has over 8K damage. I mean, having a big impact in that map. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad, Maddie. I'm so sorry. Philly does have some mighty Bapor. I can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. All right, it was a break ban coming out there from the Ducks. They continue banning out supports. Guess seems to be a Ducky kind of theme. I don't know. Reeks of foul play. All right. On that note, let's get into map 2. Hey, what is this default camera spot? Where's Frank? There's Frank. All right, no more dance party. It's time to get into Suravasa. Okay, a little Make Hass. I don't think I've seen Make Hass in quite a while. We've seen both of them kind of making their way into the meta in different variations, but I haven't seen like a classic Make Hass brawl. I mean, with some Bap Lucio. This is just get in your face, bunch up, and everybody shoot the same target. Persona holding a nice off angle, though. Showing the power of that Sojourn playing out of this back line. Leo's gonna immediately swap, try to get back. So is Baz. Back on the point. No tanks. Razor trying to cap in cryo phrase, but Persona is still alive and kicking. And here comes Nick on the Tracer. Almost as a pulse bomb already. And despite an early 10%, it's gonna be SNV who actually get control of the objective first. Soundbarrier outside there for SNV, but Baz is out hunting, doesn't care about how loud your music is. Wants to come to the party. But you know what? The shout will propel Leo up top. A shot of anger and a beautiful knife out of Leo. Baz is right back at spawn. Massive ult advantage here for SNV. Sound barrier protects against the stick. There through the Deadeye. Turns the corner with a couple of skulls. Finds both supports. No shot that lands. Gets the headshot. Forces out the recall. Good shot on the corner. Nice little blink move, but PDK still all over it. Nice triple for PDK. Get the team killed. The flip here for DhillDucks. I almost called them Baz's Ducks. That's
This ends now.
Persona Ose. Right down Main Street. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Somewhat distracted by that off angle from PDK. Doesn't get max value, but still has 100 charge. And combined with Nick, they will get that kill. Still, this fight kind of taking place outside. And there's a bit of a flip of the map. The rest of SNV just run to the point. The Rampage on top of the annihilating Baz gets cleansed there by Frothy Philly. But still, Philly's going to go down. Leo is chased and punched to oblivion. But Baz has literal 2 health and gets the kill under Persona. Gets the extra 300 armor from the Nemesis form to be able to come back onto this 99-99 fight. Good punch onto Nick, puts them 1 hit away, but Mohiki's already gotten 1 kill. Sound barrier in from Juzu. What is a very tight fight for this first control. The Ducks have got more bodies left here when the dust settles. It's not enough time for a recontest, but very hard fought. They're out of SNV. Oh, we're not going guards, we're going palace. Oh, there's an ambush set up here. I'm not sure who got ambushed and who was doing the ambushing. Neither team coming out unscathed. Good knife lands into Baz. You see the body block from Leo. Try to keep them from getting back onto the point. Kitsune rush to secure that kill. And Leo's going to follow up on that. Frothy Philly trying to just get to the high ground and get out of there. But no escape. The wrath of Persona. First cap goes to SNV. Woo! Nickel dash through too. Was having a coughing fit over here, sorry. The Ducks have a considerable rush to work with here, but you don't have to spin it just to get up this straight. Persona's going to force their hand with this overclock. It's the sound barrier used to try to turn the corner. That's going to fade, and the Rampage is huge. 3 are hit with that, and I don't see a cleanse. This is going to be a lot of dead Ducks on the back of this. That Annihilation will not be enough to swing it. Nick gets 3 when it's all said and done, and SNV will put a point on the board. Sound barrier, shout, engage here from SNV, and they're trying to keep this momentum full steam ahead. See if they can keep 6 gear and the Ducks on the back foot, but it ends up getting traded out. Razor, see if they can equalize. Finds a second kill. It's a 3v2 favored SNV, and Nick will find the last of the 2 outside of Razor themselves. Oh. I don't know if it was intentional or not. The dash climb up the little obelisk there. Good rush out of SNV on this point, just as Baz drops in, but Leo and the rest of SNV went darting into the supports and then come up with, oh, nothing but gold. Well, Leo goes down. But you get both of the healers out of the back line. Baz ends up being a very lone, staggered out tank left on this point. Baz is like, please play with me. Somebody play with me. Wall to protect. Oh, clever move. PDK just shuts down the blade with one clever placement of the May wall. Unfortunately, nobody's able to get past the choke, and the point will go on over to SNV, giving them the lead here on the map. Red X is 5 Persona, though. Annihilation has been invested. It's enough to get Leo. Now, this is also was kind of the... I believe they started investing ults. Oh, did you see that? I can't believe the entirety of DhillDucks just ran past Muhiki. What a sneaky little ninja. That was ballsy. And now they're like, wait a minute, how the hell did you get there? Sound Barrier and OC from Persona trying to go into the Kitsune rush out of DhillDucks. PDK lands a nice icicle. Put an end to that overclock. Juzu playing a dangerous game, skating into a 1v3, and Frothy Philly comes up with the goods here. Good start from DhillDucks after losing the previous 2 flashpoints. Oh, I can't believe PDK even got that blizzard out. Razor dancing here on the coastal side with the kill on to Juzu. And it looked like such a good rampage. And, you know, after PDK dying early, I thought that SNV were in a great spot. But really nice kite there out of Ducks. And they're going to send us to our final flashpoint. Nick with an aggressive blade open this up, trying to meet DhillDucks into this hallway as they rotate around. Kitsune Rush was used defensively out of the Ducks, and they've gotten Leo down to nothing. Muhiki in dangerous spot, almost got PDK. PDK gets the jab into the cryo freeze with no health left. Persona gets a shot through the mess of that annihilation. And, well, the Ducks end up a little cooked here on this attack. They've got a couple players lingering on the outside, but I'm seeing more SNV players. That one didn't. Oh, it did actually hit the battlefield. Miraculously. Nobody got frozen in that one, though. What an aggressive play here out of SNV. I mean, a confident play out of this squad. As they run into the 10-2 DhillDucks, go play way off the point and pursue the advantage they have, leverage a nice rampage, damn near canceled the blizzard out of PDK, the very least rendered it useless. Now, it is going to be a sound barrier overclock fight. Persona trying to chase down. We'll get a kill on Frothy Philly. There is going to be a touch from PDK. PDK has made it back to the objective and he's gotten a kill onto Nick on the way back. So there has been a slight breach here through the defense, and it's bought another lifeline for the DhillDucks. Razor in pursuit. PDK is going to find Juzu on the outside. Kitsune Rush now thrown in. This is looking like a 2v4. The Ducks have managed to get themselves a massive player advantage. Shooting it into the backline. They're trying to get onto Muhiki, but Muhiki is having none of it. PDK will eventually bring down Leo. I hit a completely wrong paw there. Sorry about that. And DhillDucks get the point and are able to stabilize. Unbelievably. So that confidence I referenced kind of turned into hubris there a little bit. PDK coming up with that big duel over Nick back on the point to make all of this happen. And now a massive ult advantage and 75% on the board here for DhillDucks. They're going to use the rush and the annihilation, zone everybody out, and pick up an immediate kill onto Leo to start it off. They're going to chase everybody out. Razor with the blade. Well, 5 Muhiki here with only 4% remaining. And that will be the map. Wow, that was close, though. That was unbelievably close. What a clutch save there out of PDK. Oops, sorry. That was the wrong button. My bad. That was a good play, too. Sorry, I still got some, like, residual congestion from being sick and stuff. I apologize, y'all. All right, what stands out to us from the stats? I mean, they look pretty darn close. I mean, the 40 and 8 for Persona stands out. I'll tell you that. Whew. SNV's map pick again. Okay, so I believe SNV banned the Diva there. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. This isn't always accurate. Actually, I'm thinking SNV banned the Widowmaker. Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely the right play. It was in the wrong order on FACEIT. Because SNV had first ban, but it showed first ban as the Diva ban. Oh, let me get the team swap too, sorry. Well, that was a swift first fight. It was a very aggressive hold. I saw Baz initially showing us the Winston, and I think once they scouted this aggressive hazard comp, mainly went into this wrecking ball. And Persona's really the only one that can take the pressure off of Razor. Oh, good. Sleep on to Leo. But Nick gets a double dash through. Check it up here. The tank is down, but I feel like as long as Nick and Nick and Persona are still in this fight, it's absolutely winnable. Speaking of Juzu, they do get a kill onto Redx, who, by the way, is on a Mercy, by the way. Not very often you get the pharmacy in semi-pro play anymore. All right, Nick's still making their way back into this fight. I mean, without that two-piece from Nick, they're on point B right now. Oh, that is a Razor Barrage. Ah! I actually had it. The Valk to get out. Here comes Nick. You can try to chase. Yep, it has to dance around the mine. Still trying to chase down that pesky Valk. The Rez comes through. Razor back on the battlefield after some fancy dance moves out of Redix. Able to flutter around the blade. Moves in and Ducks are back at full strength. Ooh, a little bit of a chase coming through from Leo into the air. Just force them off of that left-hand side. Razor and company rotating. Leo moving up to take the top of Big Earls. BDK and Baz are trying to push it underneath. Razor gets the nano and immediately finds Muhiki out of the back line. You take a lot of sustain out. Ooh, but the chase is on. Razor finds Persona on the way in, though. Taking a lot of the teeth out of that attack. And just don't have the punch and power to get it done. Defense crumbles, although a little late gift there on the Redix. I'm only one man, Fuji, okay? I'm a one-man band here. You just gotta give me a chance to catch up. You just gotta give me a moment. I'll get it. I'll catch it. No, I appreciate you letting me know. Honestly, I need all the help I can get, y'all. I appreciate you letting me know. I mean, we're on a delay, so... I unfortunately was able to catch it before the 2 minutes. Although it wouldn't be the first time. Overclock up for Persona with the extra energy on that. Ooh. Nice little kill onto the spec that was Red X all the way up in the skybox. Roll through. Razor taken out of the barrage by Persona, but Persona does get hunted down by Baz. Then he'll swing around. Oh, gets locked into the downpour, though. That is a 4-player downpour. And Leo finds 2 of them. Leo's still low, but has managed to evade Baz. In fact, keep Baz from completely harassing Juzu as well. Good teamwork out of the SNV defense between the 2 supports and Leo there. They're able to anchor. Even with Razor putting a lot of pressure in from above. Sound barrier out of this defense. Nick is chasing Razor all the way to the spawn doors. Or at least the point A doors. Frothy Philly gets caught without a cooldown, I'm guessing. At the very least, didn't get it out. Razor's back here at Big Earl's having a conversation with Juzu. Razor's not a music fan, apparently. My hair got in my eyes. Aww. Wiki with the Kitsune Rush actually makes it through. All the way down below and kills on the Razor. Everybody else. Redix was the first to die there. Really nice retake. It can be one of the more difficult retakes, particularly when you have a Wrecking Ball kind of camped up and waiting for you. Able to just pop you up and, you know, hit some direct shots out of Razor's Farah. But really nice recontest. Spearheaded there by Nick. Now there's less than a minute to go for the Ducks. That was a close sound barrier. But Redix gets it down, and a pair of kills on the back of it. It's traded once again. Nick trying to absolutely clutch this defense, but not going to happen this time. Wait, Mooney, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate you. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Thank you. Oh. That was point blank. Of course, I hit the wrong POV, or I double tapped it or something. Razor making good work with this Pharah, even in this kind of tight, narrow warehouse where you don't typically see a lot of Pharah. Razor and Red X are both very low. Downpour in from Leo. I think was the end of Red X. Ooh, the leap over the top. Baz is a touch late on the peel, but does get the kill. Mine's in to try to prevent the escape. Beautiful catch. Denies Zuzu a wall ride out. Sorry. Construction on this road. This path is closed. Nice roll through on Persona's overclock. With the Kitsune Rush here. This is looking like a DhillDucks cap, although Leo's back on the case. There's a sound barrier from Juzu that hits 4. Group respawn's coming in handy here from the SNV defense. A 1 Red X goes down. Check it on the other Tracer. Has the pulse bomb here as everybody from SNV kind of grouping up in that hallway. Double dash through, 8 seconds. Setting up on the outside. Needs to be able to stay alive to touch. Oops. Gets the pulse. And actually, Wrecking Ball got the touch. SNV to at least get it to OT. But DhillDucks will put that 3rd point on the board. Budget says Alonzo Goat. You should. You should. Can you hide on the panorama side? Honestly, kind of clever. They are calling it the Baz Wrecking Ball, of course. Nope. Baz is hiding right up top of this main corner here. Around this big U-turn. It's just a question. How do you deal with the Razor Pharah with all the pressure coming in from Baz and PDK down low? And you can see just how overwhelming and oppressive that that pressure can be. Ooh, good boop. Yeah, you're going to catch Baz with no cooldowns. Juzu makes it back up as well. Razor low. I mean, God, that's how. With some clever play out of Juzu, Nick. I mean, the whole crew band together in some impeccable display of teamwork. And outplay Baz on the Wrecking Ball. Catch him with no cooldowns on the side of the cliff. Good play from Nick to take care of Razor in the sky. Leo with the jump in. Gets some good damage on Red X, but here comes the retaliation. Leo doesn't get themselves cornered along this far side. Could have been an easy trap to fall into. Instead, is able to move in and pick up the Mega. Kitsune Rush tossed in over the point. And SNV move up to the high ground and take control of Big Earls. But Frothy Philly is able to put enough damage in to drive him down. Leo's low, and there's no supports left. Back to spawn here for SNV. Good kill for Persona. Catches Frothy Philly sitting up too far. Slide up to get away from the mines. DhillDucks still pursuing the kill. I think one in Persona, but we'll settle for Muhiki. I mean, that's just as good. Maybe even better. This leads you to get the kill onto Persona. Ooh, the downpour and dodge. Persona slides into a 1v3, though. Nick in. See if they can find something in this back line, but I feel like everybody's dying up front. There's 75 health left on this blade. Frothy Philly's not having any of it. Meanwhile, back on the point, Leo's managed to get a kill onto Razor, but it still finds themselves in a 1v4. Not 2v4. Here comes the cavalry. Can they keep Leo alive? Sound barrier in. There's the pursuit. Baz is trying to take care of Juzu. Will succeed. Oh, the roll into the back. Catch a low Persona as well. Oh, what a prediction. Baz is a step ahead of Muhiki on that one. Knew exactly where they wanted to go when they hit the grapple. That was exceptional. God, good ball play is so fun to watch. It takes such incredible forethought. You got to think 3 steps ahead. That is exactly what we saw from Baz on that series of events for that triple kill. Where was that? In the cave? Okay, that was unexpected. I'm guessing that was the idea. Uh-oh. Orbital Ray throwing on the point. Muhiki here to try to bail this out. Leo has got to kill onto Razor. The downpour to catch Baz off the court. That is huge. That could deny the stall. The root will dislodge with a couple meters left, and Baz moves onto the point, but Persona's returned, managing to get on top of Big Earls with this OC. PDK moves in to find that kill, dash it in underneath, but Leo has gotten a kill onto Reddick, who's gotten to a Moira, by the way. And they've gotten the cap on the back of that, securing a little bit more time in the bank, and now trying to secure their own backline. You had recall. Nick, you had recall. Come on. I mean, I've done that too. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. PDK backs into Nick there. There was a split second. That was a golden opportunity to finish off that one clip, and Nick couldn't quite capitalize. Frothy Philly lands the headshot from the distance. Good boop. You see just how this defense is just cycling aggression between all 5 players, making it very awkward. Nick does win out in that duel. Very important win on the outside flank to secure this cave side. Yeah, difficult decision here. I think this is the right call. Kind of move in behind the DhillDucks right now. I know there was a coalescence up front, and Reddick's got some kills, but I think this play from Nick was so important. Really needed to kind of get something done or create some space back there. Ends up, I'm friendly. Juzu caught in the mines. And, I mean, we're sound barrier out in front of the point A spawn. I don't see any blue jersey. Nick died behind us. There's a touch there from Juzu, but a barrage on the point. And that will be the series. GG's in chat. DhillDucks taking it in a 3-0. Not as competitive here. Yeah, this one was a pretty dominant performance from the Ducks. I will say the defense. The defense had some big moments. I mean, yeah, we're going to get Juicy with play. Yeah, caught Red X with no cooldowns. And then right there, catches the Wrecking Ball, no cooldowns. Nicely done. Nicely done. Love a good Lucio play the game. Love a good Lucio play the game. Astros team gave that biblically accurate Nightmare loss to Nightmare rotation. Fair. Let's go look at some stats. Where's my background music? Come here, background music. Yeah, I mean, Supernova should beat Nightmare rotation. I will say, like, the SNV defense was quite competitive. Also, SNV looked super competitive on Suravasa. And that was, here, look, we'll go ahead and get that third point on the board. What happened here? Did I? Oh, no. What did I? There we go. I hit my taskbar or whatever. There we go. Yay, hockeys. But particularly on Suravasa, like SNV looked super competitive. They were one team fight from tying us up there on Suravasa. Persona had a hell of a map. And truly were one team fight. They spent everything on the spawn hole. They actually win the fight. But PDK is able to sneak through in the back, get the touch in the 99 situation, and wins the duel over Nick on the point. And it just snowballed there. DhillDucks had managed to bank a couple ultimates, where SME had just spent everything, went first, went aggressive, spent everything, won the fight, let PDK through. And that was it. Like, if PDK doesn't get that touch, that is a map win for SNV. And we're headed to a map 4 right now, and SNV probably got a little bit more wind in their sails, you know, because they've been coming off the back of a win there on Suravasa. Super competitive. And that was kind of what I posed here at the top of this series, this was a look at SNV against a team that is, you know, top class here in Master Division. And how would they look against, you know, a team of this caliber? And frankly, I think they look pretty good. Like, okay, the attack on Route 66, I felt they were running out of steam at that point. Looked a little discouraged. We're starting to see a little inting. We're starting to see Nick die with cooldowns. You know, like just kind of, we're starting to see a little silliness. They looked really competitive. I mean, even their defense though, like Nick got the 2K on the Genji to save that defense on point B. I thought their defense looked great there at Route 66 as well. So, I mean, it was really just the very tail end, I think, is when the silliness kind of started to creep in. But with that said, SNV, I mean, definitely look like they are a master level team and that they can compete. You know, perhaps need a little bit more refining or just a little bit more practice, synergy, something of the like. Just good to see. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody being here. Maddie, Fuji, Stratocaster, Phoenix. I'm really happy to see all of y'all. Ponchi with coming in with that raid from William Mundy, that huge raid. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody being here tonight. Thank you for being here. SNV, unfortunately for them, do still sit currently in that dreaded 13th slot. We'll see who's able to kind of sneak into that 12th slot. This is the cutoff line right here. Team Vex is currently on the right side of it. But SNV, I mean, I gotta say, if this team ends up an expert, I mean, I think they're going to dominate, and we'll see them right back in Master. Because if they, I mean, assuming they stay together and they continue to grow and build synergy, I haven't gotten a chance to talk with this team myself, so like I don't know how much they practice. I don't know what the vibe's like, but I mean, if that's what they're after, I mean, it looked like I saw a lot of potential here today. That's All I'm saying, I saw a lot of potential here today. Obviously, DhillDucks were the expected favorites. You're looking at an 11-2 team coming in against a 3-10 team. I mean, obviously, the DhillDucks were the expected favorites, and they do maintain that that second place tie with Extinction.